He spent 6 days in the Fulton County Jail while other co-defendants only spent hours. He turned himself in on a Thursday and was denied bond that Friday by Fulton Superior Court Judge Emily Richardson. She stated, "Based on the open charge against you, there are grounds for bond to be denied at this point." He had previously stated he could not afford an attorney, which would have negotiated a bond settlement for him. Many across the country came to his aid with a mass amount of financial help. On the 30th of August, Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee approved a $100,000 consent bond order, allowing him to be released from jail. The conditions of his release, it is said, include not communicating directly or indirectly about the facts of the case with any of his co-defendants or any known witnesses. His name is Harrison Floyd, the former director of Black Voices for Trump. He and others were indicted in August by a Fulton County grand jury and accused of participating in a wide-ranging scheme to illegally try to overturn the 2020 election in Georgia. Now, after about 82 days, Fulton County DA, Fani Willis, wants his bond revoked and have him placed back in jail. Let's go over why. In this document, Fani Willis alleges Harrison Floyd has intimidated co-defendants and witnesses, directly and indirectly communicated about facts in the case, and obstructed the administration of justice, violating his court order. We will continue. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to King Channel TV and click that notification bell. In our previous research on Harrison Floyd, we found him to be a vividly outspoken patriot, with strong beliefs in the letter of the law, especially where the U.S. Constitution is concerned, and a strong advocate of justice. Personalities like these are bound to upstage power-hungry political officials when they are not given the respect they think they deserve, or when they are challenged either by word or by deed. Harrison Floyd has done just that. He clearly makes it known that there is no love lost between him and Fani Willis.
First, I just want to give thanks to God, who's the head of my life, for keeping me safe while I was in there. Second, I want to thank my wife, who's been a tremendous support, and I want to thank everyone outside who's been praying for their well wishes, and especially for all the kind contributions to the legal fund. They're greatly appreciated. And last but not least, I would like to thank District Attorney Fani Willis for giving me what we call in our community a Negro wake-up call, because she has reminded me that our country and the state of Georgia will not be able to be a righteous nation if we stand on pillars of corruption, racism, lying, and cheating. And when we are governed by men and women who are more concerned about things in the world rather than serving the citizens they're sworn to protect, we end up going into more and deeper darkness.
Another of his attributes which make many of these officials uncomfortable with him is his charitable deeds for those who have not, deeds that reach deep into the community.
Doug Reardon joins us live tonight. And Doug, Floyd says he is now working with the local bail bonds company to ensure other incarcerated people can pay for their freedom.
Right. Second chance bail bonds right up the road, actually, from the jail. They say that this is something they will do. They'll take donations to post people's bail inside the Fulton County Jail, but they very rarely do it, accepting donations from someone who is very recently an inmate at that very same facility. Remember that Harrison Floyd was the only one of these 19 defendants to have to spend any time at all in a jail cell. As we set up to interview Harrison Floyd outside the Fulton County Jail Tuesday, inmates inside call out for help. 10 people have died inside the facility this year alone, and Floyd, one of 19 defendants in the sweeping Georgia election indictment, knows what it's like to be holed up in one of their cells.
Just a week ago, I was inside this jail.
Floyd spent 6 days in jail after turning himself in on 3 indictment charges. He is the only black male charged in the case and the only one who couldn't post bail right away. He's now set aside $72,000 from his own legal defense fund to bail other inmates out.
10 people have died in this jail this year. 10 people. That's one a month, and it isn't even October yet.
Working with a second chance bail bonds right up the road from the jail, they're taking requests from families of inmates who have no violent charges and no histories of addictions.
Especially fathers, because that's incredibly important to the black community.
While Floyd was eventually able to post his own $100,000 bond, he still faces a mountain of legal trouble. He's facing charges of witness intimidation, accused of pressuring Fulton County election workers Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman into making false statements. On Tuesday, do you have a message for Shay Moss or Ruby Freeman tonight? Floyd declined to comment on the case.
Additionally, Floyd's attorneys have subpoenaed Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, the Clerk of Superior Court of Fulton County, and the Fulton County Board of Registrations and Elections to hand over all Fulton County election data. This move is in an effort to prove that Donald Trump actually did win the state of Georgia 2020 election. As with viewing conversations and other pieces of information provided by the media, many gaps are showing and questions are refusing to be answered.
The agencies clearly are not pleased that they have been subpoenaed by this defendant. So at this pretrial hearing, we expect that the judge will determine whether the agencies must comply with those subpoenas. You'll remember defendant Harrison Floyd. He's accused of taking part in a failed plot to try to coerce a quote-unquote confession from Ruby Freeman, one of the Fulton County poll workers who Trump backers accused of rigging the election against their candidate. As part of Floyd's defense, he has subpoenaed Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, the Clerk of Superior Court of Fulton County, and the Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections. All three agencies have filed motions to quash those subpoenas, and that is what the judge will hear arguments about today.
I think raise some alarms that you're asking to have a copy of every single ballot in Fulton County, and you're going to be able to know everyone who lived in Fulton County exactly how they voted.
Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee expressing concern over requests by Harrison Floyd's attorneys to get documents from the Secretary of State and Fulton County Board of Elections. They were asking for copies of every single Fulton County ballot from 2020 to prove a smoking gun they say lies inside those documents.
That President Trump indeed won the election, and we can prove it.
The two agencies, as well as the Fulton County Superior Court itself, filed motions to block Floyd from obtaining the documents, arguing they have no relevance to his case, they contain the personal information of voters, and would be costly and time-consuming to find. And so Judge McAfee today ordered Floyd's attorneys to go back and just be more specific, to narrow the scope of these documents request and maybe make them a little more palatable for the state. They did offer to pay the cost of producing these records. This is going to be back in court in mid-November.
The hearing as to whether Harrison Floyd is sent back to jail will be tomorrow, November 21, with Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee presiding. King Channel TV will continue to follow up on this troublesome case that has rattled our society, divided so many people, and have caused so much pain and loss. This brings our video to a close. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to King Channel TV, and click that notification bell. Peace.